Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of a fat activist saying society has brainwashed you into not being attracted to fat people. They go on to say that restrictive EDs are actually fat phobia. Yeah, there's a lot of hot takes in this one. We're also going to be taking a look at a couple of bonus clips from people saying that you can't feel fat. Please be sure to check out my second channel where I release videos that are not related to fat acceptance. I recently released a video about a 400-pound woman getting arrested at Applebee's for skipping out on the tab. Here's a link. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache. She's going to be responding to this comment that reads, "Of course, fat is not a bad thing, but it 100% is okay for skinny people to not desire a fat body. Doesn't mean they think it's bad." Okay, I agree. People are allowed to have their preferences.
I think this is a perfect comment to use to talk about all of this, because I think this is a perfect example of thinking that things just happen in a vacuum and that nothing we ever do is because of anything else. The reason skinny people do not desire a fat body is because they've been conditioned to not desire a fat body.
Dude, the reason that you guys don't want me is because you've been conditioned, brainwashed, if you will, to not be into me. That's all that is. It's not anything to do with me and your own personal preferences. You've been brainwashed. So is this your way of saying that you can't take no for an answer? This is a little disturbing. Yeah, you know what? Now that I think of it, people that aren't attracted to me have also been brainwashed. You must be deluded if you're not into all of this. I'm sorry to be weird. All of this. That's how I go approach somebody at a bar. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? You sure you're not interested in all of this?" And then they just mace me. You didn't have to mace me. A simple no would have been fine.
Fat phobia is so prevalent in our society that people who are fat with eating disorders are 14 times less likely to be treated for them.
Well, maybe they're 14 times less likely to get treatment for their ED because a lot of them claim to have a restrictive one instead of big. And we can't really help someone that's not being properly diagnosed, right? That's my assumption. You can't really get help with your ED if you say that you have the wrong one and you keep insisting on it. If you were overweight and you go to get help with your big ED, I'm guessing you would get the help that you need. I think perhaps Tess Holliday has a lot of people thinking that they have a different ED than the one that they actually have. Thanks, Tess. We do all of this for you and you can't even wash your ass.
People who are fat can still be fired for being fat.
Really? I didn't know the companies were allowed to do that. I'm sorry, Joanne. We're gonna have to let you go. What? Why? I've been working here for like 5 years. You're fat. Sorry. What? I've always been fat. Did I get too fat? What happened? Yeah, you were like 355 before, and that was cool, but then you went over like 356, and that's just too far. We're gonna have to let you go for being fat, because this is real life. This shit really happens, right? Oh man, this happens for super really reals all the time. Fired you for being fat one day. It was fine when we hired you, but then one day we just decided, you know what? Enough.
They're less likely to get diagnosed with cancer. Like, okay, it does mean they think it's bad. It does.
Okay, since overweight people are less likely to get diagnosed with that and less likely to get diagnosed with an ED, that means that skinny people do think it's bad to be fat. Well, I'm not following your logic here.
And fat phobia is not just a societal thing, it's also individual, especially when you have an eating disorder. Because anorexia, specifically, one of the designations of anorexia is fat phobia.
One of the designations of the restrictive ED known as ANA is fat phobia? What? Is that one of the diagnostic criteria for being diagnosed with ANA? Let's go back and listen again.
One of the designations of anorexia is fat phobia, the fear of being or becoming fat.
Oh, I think she meant to say one of the criteria for having Anna is fat phobia, the fear of becoming fat. I don't think that they would refer to it that way. Like, if somebody with that particular illness does fear getting larger, it's not fat phobia. They fear themselves getting larger. I don't know. Just fat phobia is not used in a clinical setting or in any sort of professional environment, especially if you want anyone to take you seriously. I hope to God that the phrase fat phobia is not used in restrictive ED spaces, dude.
Getting through and working through your fat phobia is a part of treatment.
I don't believe that it is. I've talked to people that have restrictive EDs, and a lot of the time it has to do with other things like control and body image and other stuff like that. Some of them might have some kind of fear of getting larger, but for a lot of them, that's not even the main thing, dude, so.
I get that a lot of people misinterpreted my video, intentionally or unintentionally, because a lot of you just don't understand.
I think I'm picking up what you're laying down. I think that what you're laying down is just not that smart.
What it's like to be on the receiving end of that comment as someone who looks like that. Whatever. But I think some of you are missing the part in the video where I said, yeah, okay, now what? Like, the now what is very important. The fatties in the comments get it. And I'm not asking the skinnies to get it. Like,
okay. Do you have a problem with the skinnies, as it were?
Like, you guys will never get it. You won't get the joke.
Oh, we won't get the joke. So thin people don't get jokes, huh? All right, now you've gone too far. Saying that thin people don't get jokes, you could call me a bigot, call me fat phobic, call me XYZ, but to say that I don't get jokes, that actually hurts. How dare you? I just wanted to make people laugh. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. My eyes are actually kind of watering from that. Oh my God. This sounds weird, but I can cry on command. Does that mean that, like, just below the surface there's always tears just waiting to come out, and I'm actually requiring a lot of effort to hold them back? Maybe that's what that means. I don't know, but I can cry on command, bro. You just look at me like, damn, bro. You always look like you're on the verge of tears, even when you're laughing. You're a very complex man. Yeah, I'm very, complex. That's what that is.
You won't get the exhaustion that comes with skinny people forcing you to validate their fear of being you.
What about the exhaustion that comes with trying to walk up a couple flights of stairs? I'm sorry. It's a lot more exhausting than validation.
You'll never understand that. But the reason I brought up body dysmorphia and eating dysmorphia is because when fat people discuss even those situations,
situation type deal,
as evident in my comments, the first thing people do is say, well, they can have body dysmorphia. That's not their fault. They can have an eating disorder. They can't help it. They can't help it if they hate you. They can't help it if they're afraid of being you.
It's actually got nothing to do with you. You just said they're free to hate you. No. People's personal body issues ain't got nothing to do with you. You're not the center of the universe. If somebody wants to shave off their mustache, it ain't got nothing to do with me. They don't even know that I exist. They should. I don't know what the hell is wrong with all these morons. But that is completely bizarre.
You're right. They can't help it if they think that about themselves. But they can help it if they say it to another person who they know is fat.
If they say what? Like, I feel so fat and I don't like it? Yeah, you shouldn't say that to somebody that's larger than you. I agree. Some people, though, are like so deep in their own ED that they're not really seeing past their own issues. Like, that's the irony of this thing. You think that when they say they don't want to be fat, they're trying to dunk on you, but the reality of the situation is they can't even see you beyond their own issues, right? It's kind of like I'm always saying, like, if I could get all these voices in my head to stop yelling all this crazy crap at me, then maybe I could worry about your thing. If I could drown out the constant negativity, then maybe I'll have time to worry about you. Got my own problems. What's that you say, Dolphin? Get rid of all the phonies. We will. Don't worry. We will, Dolphin.
Okay, which was the original scenario? The original scenario is a skinny person, not with an eating disorder or body dysmorphia, asking a fat person if they look fat.
Okay, I agree with you. That's not chill, homie. That is not chill. A skinny person asking somebody that's larger than them, do I look fat? That's some passive-aggressive BS. Yeah, that is something that happens sometimes, and yeah, that is straight-up passive-aggressiveness. The thin person asking the larger person, do I look fat? They know exactly what they're doing. Gonna have to agree with you on that one. But that doesn't mean that we need to go on this crazy tirade and say that society has brainwashed you into not being attracted to fat people, and that people with restrictive EDs actually have fatphobia. We don't have to go completely off the rails, but I do agree. A lot of passive-aggressive people out there.
And expecting the fat person to say, no, oh my God, you don't look fat. When the fat person is then at that point having to degrade their own body and themselves.
I agree with that. Yeah, don't ask somebody that's larger than you if you look fat, and ask them to say, oh no, you look great, when that person is larger. Don't do that, man. Come on.
To make the skinny person feel better. I totally understand that some of you didn't get the hee-hee-ha-ha of it all.
I suppose I missed the hee-hee-ha-ha. I'll admit that.
Or the facetiousness.
I caught that part.
But the fatties did, and that...
Why is that making me laugh so hard? But the fatties got it. Okay.
That's who I made the video for. I just won't make that joke with you. Okay? Okay. Just won't make that joke with you. Got it.
That's right. I have no sense of humor. Don't make any kind of stupid jokes with me. I'll just start breaking down. No, I'm just kidding. My eyes started getting all teary again, dude. Oh my God. Okay, so to sum up what she just said, society has brainwashed you into not being attracted to larger people, and your restrictive ED is actually fatphobia, you moron. But I do agree with her on the thing about if you're thinner, don't be calling yourself fat in front of your fat friend, and especially do not ask them, do I look fat? That is not chill, man. That is not chill. Next, what feeling fat really means.
Fat is not a feeling, but...
Oh, okay. Good enough for me. I just automatically believe whatever you tell me. Now I guess we'll watch this thing. Let's go.
Feeling fat is actually a psychological phenomenon experienced by folks in bodies of all sizes.
It is.
Being fat means living in a fat body.
Being fat is subjective. Some people think that somebody is fat. Some people think that person is not fat. It's a matter of personal opinion. So you can't just say, you can't feel fat because being fat means living in a fat butt, because it's subjective.
Which is a marginalized, highly stigmatized identity.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
So stigmatized that we literally have a widely utilized term, feeling fat, that essentially means feeling terrible emotionally or physically.
No, it means feeling fat. I might feel wonderful emotionally, but then I catch myself from the right angle in the mirror. I'm like, oh, jeez. Ah, God, jeez, look at you. You know, I'm not trying to encourage anybody to do that. Don't beat yourselves up. Don't obsess about your physical appearance. I don't that much. But every once in a while you see yourself and you're like, oh my God, look at this.
Feeling fat is a popular way folks unconsciously mask negative feelings or sensations.
Oh.
So your body could remain totally unchanged, and yet you might have spikes in this feeling fat over the course of a day or a week.
Okay, I am learning some stuff because this doesn't make any sense.
Our body image suffers when we don't catch these moments and interpret them appropriately. Meaning we register that we feel fat and believe the solution logically is to fix our, quote, fatness, rather than accurately label what we are really feeling.
Dude.
Like negative mood states such as bored, depressed, lonely, hungover, or physical sensations that really do heighten body awareness like bloated, hot, sweaty, fatigue, and address the underlying issues.
She said hungover, so you're implying that sometimes when you're hungover, you might mistake that for feeling fat? What? This pounding headache is actually, I think I'm fat, I guess. Okay, we register that we feel fat and believe the solution logically is to lose the fat.
Is to fix our, quote, fatness.
But it's not. It's to go take a bubble bath or something.
Rather than accurately label what we are really feeling.
Okay, so instead of trying to fix the fatness, we need to accurately label what we are feeling. But what if we are feeling fat? I did accurately label it. That's what I was feeling. You're telling me no, it's actually heartburn?
Like negative mood states such as bored, depressed.
Oh, I didn't feel fat. I was bored. That was really bizarre that I confused those two emotions. I must be an absolute moron. Huh? Oh, I didn't feel fat. I was depressed. Once again, I'm clearly a moron.
Lonely, hungover.
Hungover's got me feeling fat. And the loneliness.
Or physical sensations that really do heighten body awareness, like bloated, hot, sweaty.
Yeah, bloatedness can make you feel fat. That one makes a whole lot of sense, actually, doesn't it?
Fatigue. And address the underlying issues.
The sweatiness and the fatigue, that's your real problem. You don't feel fat, you feel sweaty and fatigued.
We also perpetuate anti-fat bias, which is not a body positive practice, nor does it support healthy body image. So, to start, I want you to notice when you feel fat. See if you can catch the thought and just note, where are you?
Where am I? Who am I? What the hell am I doing here? What are we even doing with our goddamn lives? Seriously, oh my god, what the hell? Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life? Wait, what? What was the point of this exercise? What were you even asking to begin with? I forgot. I kind of just started throwing off. What the fuck am I doing? What am I doing with my whole ass life? What is this? Jesus Christ, she's right. You know what? You're right. What am I doing? Fuck me. You're right. What the hell am I doing with my whole ass life? Jesus Christ. Wait, what was this? Related to fatphobia or some crap? No. We're having a bigger epiphany than that. What the hell? What are we doing?
What has just happened? And
I don't know what just happened. I feel like I had an out-of-body experience.
what else are you feeling mentally and physically?
All kinds of stuff, dude.
Has something just happened that might have triggered the feeling?
You said so many words that didn't make sense that my brain just started drifting out into left field.
Write it down and start to get acquainted with what's really going on.
Okay, I know that I'm joking around a lot. She's trying to say, you don't feel fat, you actually have gas. Or like, you're depressed or lonely or some other crap. It's not the feeling fat. Like, she's literally just trying to say it's other feelings. It's not feeling fat, which I disagree with.
And underneath the feeling fat mask.
I disagree with what she said, but I get what she's going for somewhat, I believe. She's like, if you're already depressed or whatever, you might just like focus on this and be like, oh, I am fat. But it's actually the underlying depression. In some cases, that might be true. But a lot of the time when I look down and I feel fat, it's because there's fat there. And I'm not saying that I do. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. And I'm not saying that any of you should obsess over your fat or look down and feel bad about it. By the way, when you sit down like I'm sitting right now, it's normal to have a fat roll on your belly. Don't be alarmed and don't obsess over it. I've described it before, but I'll do it again. Like, here's you standing up, and then when you sit down, see right here, see this wrinkle right here? Your body has to fold up somewhere, okay? It's normal to have that wrinkle right there. Don't obsess over it. Next. All right, here's somebody else proclaiming that you can't feel fat.
Fat is not a feeling. You cannot feel fat. What you most likely are feeling
Is diarrhea? It's that damn diarrhea, huh? I thought so.
is physical discomfort
Oh, like diarrhea. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
or emotional discomfort. Most likely what's happening here is that feeling fat has become the way you express that something feels wrong.
Okay, you're pretty much saying what the other person was saying. You don't feel fat. It's literally anything else.
In a lot of cases, an attack of I feel fat thoughts is a sign of a big emotion that you have trouble processing, like sudden stress, or maybe a lack of control over where your life is right now, or B, you're out of resources.
Or I just felt fat. Perhaps sometimes you might be distracting yourself from the bigger core emotional issue by focusing on your fat, but a lot of the time, no. I wouldn't say that this is always the case. I would say that this is actually rarely the case.
Emotional, social, creative, mental, physical resources. Basically, you're exhausted on some level. If you're
What? Where are you getting any of this from?
labeling all of this as feeling fat, you're not addressing the root problem, and you probably will be carrying this feeling with you for longer than you should. No.
Oh, the root problem is my alcoholism and my crippling depression, not my obesity, although it's not helping.
Knowing the difference is so important. So why not try out saying something different, like, oh, I feel anxiety, or I'm experiencing sadness right now.
Why would I say I have anxiety or I'm experiencing sadness right now when I looked in the mirror and saw that I was fat? So I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh man, I'm looking pretty fat these days. Geez, I gotta get it together. But what I really mean is, oh man, I have some anxiety. I won't lose weight now. I guess. Once I got my anxiety in order, then I stopped caring about being obese. But what if the obesity is increasing your anxiety? What if the obesity is increasing your depression or leading to it? Because your hormones are all out of whack, you don't like the way that people are looking at you, you're fatigued, you're sick of carrying around all this excess crap. None of that is helping your mental state, it's exacerbating it or causing it.
I feel kind of hopeless because I have no control over this situation.
For you to think that people are so dumb that they could confuse their feelings of hopelessness with, I feel fat, is pretty silly.
I feel uncomfortable in my body right now. My clothes feel tight and my skin feels a bit sticky.
What? My clothes feel tight and my skin feels sticky. Those aren't emotions, those are physical things that are happening to you, perhaps due to the weight.
I feel lonely. I need people to reassure me that I am lovable. I question my value. I am scared that people will reject me.
What is this whole entire thing?
Your body is not the problem. Fat is not an emotion. I've worked with dozens of people on this and I can tell you.
You've worked with dozens of people. Doing what? Are you some sort of counselor? Do I owe you money now? Because I disagree with everything that you're saying. I think it's fairly insulting to tell people that the way that they feel is not valid. That's not how you actually feel. You're just confused. You don't understand your own feelings. You're a moron. Here, let me help you, idiot.
Labeling your emotion correctly is the groundwork to shifting your focus away from your looks and to finding freedom with your body.
It sounds like people are deluding themselves. It's good to encourage people to deal with their negative emotions, but I feel that it's fairly disingenuous to tell people that any sort of negative feeling they have about their weight is actually related to these other emotions, and there is no core of truth to your concerns about your weight. You are thinking of something else. You're confused. You're confused. That's really insulting.
If this video was useful to you, don't forget to follow. My name is Lucy. I'm a body image coach, and my goal is to help you find freedom with your body and with yourself.
Body image coach is a job now. Okay. And apparently you just tell everybody, don't feel bad about anything, ever. Okay. Like I said, I disagree with all of that. If you feel fat, it could be because you feel fat. It's good to not obsess on your body image, especially in a negative way, and be like, oh, I'm too fat, I'll never be good enough, and all this type of stuff. But also, it's bad to never acknowledge any of it and pretend like it's all something else. This isn't my personal issue that I have with my body. This is because I'm anxious. That's not doing yourself any favors. There's a healthy balance between loving ourselves and accepting ourselves and also working on ourselves and our body. We don't have to give up either one of those things completely. We can find a healthy balance in the middle. So what do you think of the clips that we just saw? Has society been conditioned to not be attracted to fat people? Are people with the restrictive ED actually engaging in fatphobia? And is there no such thing as feeling fat? Leave a comment below. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.